Hello, everyone. I hope that now I am live. And those live, please do confirm to me that whether I am clearly visible, properly audible, or not. We will wait for a few minutes so that everyone will join. And then maybe after a few minutes, we will start our today's session. So, this is our very first session, you can say, after the roadmap, where we will start our topic of Python playlist with the variables concept. I hope that this concept is pretty much important as well as fundamental to get that advanced level of Python programming. As I always say that it's very important to start everything from a scratch. So in this playlist also, we will make sure that we will start from a scratch so that if there is anyone who is not at all aware about what Python programming language is all about, what are variables, how many different types of data types that we have in variables, that person also will be able to understand. Okay, so without wasting any time, within few seconds I am starting my session. I am trying to share my screen now. Do let me know that whether the screen is also visible or not, and then maybe we can start our session. Okay, because it would be a long session, and we will try to learn everything from a very scratch with its code implementation, and definitely it will be very interactive as well. So let me just try to share my screen once. Mm, okay, so now I think I have shared my screen as well, and my screen is also properly visible to everyone. Am I correct? Can I get some confirmation? Is my screen is visible to everyone? Is my screen is visible? Okay, perfect. So I got the confirmation. Yes, it is visible. Perfect, makes sense. So let's wait for a few more seconds. If you have any question to ask, you can ask. Anyone, any question before we will start our session? So that meanwhile, if anyone is joining, they can join. Any question you have? So today, the focus is about mastering variables in Python. In Python. So a complete session will be composed of theoretical understanding plus the coding implementation, and in between I will ask you the questions also, and at the end of the session I will give you a few practice problems, because as I always say that in programming without any practice you will not able to do the stuffs, right? Whatever long session you will listen from any of your mentor, if you will not do practice on top of that, you will face a trouble. So we will do some quiz questions. We will try to solve. I'll try to give you few questions, assignment based questions, you can say, and then on the next day, means on the next live, I will discuss first of all those questions which I have given you as an assignment, and then we will move ahead. Okay, so in this way I think you will be able to get a very good understanding and the grasp over the concepts of Python programming. I hope that you all are excited with me. Many people were asking to me that for which particular person is this playlist very important. So I would say that if you want to go in any data domain, for example, if you want to go for data analyst, data scientist, data engineering, so in many of these domains Python programming plays a very important role, because it is having a lot many libraries, it is having a lot many packages, and that's the advantage which this programming language is giving to us. So definitely the very first thing is that if your target is to go in these domains which I have just now talked about, then this particular programming language is important to learn. Second thing is that if you want to do the DSA also with respect to this programming language, then also it's very easy to do. So you will find out that this programming language is very, very, very easy to implement, very easy to understand. And if you have already the knowledge of C, C++, Java, then so it is very easy for you to understand. Okay. Concepts are same, syntax is different, and implementation is somewhat different. So I'll try to show you everything here. Okay, so let's take few questions and then we will start. So Vikas is saying, I got my first job as data scientist, and I must thank you for that. Thank you so much, Vikas, and very congratulations for that. I hope you continue teaching as long as possible. Definitely, yes. There is not even a question mark on this question. Are you going to cover DSA in Python as well? So, referring to this question, Vikas, maybe you are not aware about this. I have already covered up DSA in Python in a very lot more depth. So I don't think that there is a lot more stuff to be done here with respect to DSA in Python. So if you will go to my channel and if you will go to the playlist part, you will find out that there is a playlist by the name of DSA using Python. So if you will go to this playlist, all the videos are in the series. Please try to learn from this playlist. You will be able to get a lot much quality content, and you will be able to get the idea that how with the help of Python programming language, we can implement data structure algorithms. Okay? So because we already have this playlist, I will not again and again do the same stuff. But until so far, I have not done Python programming specifically. That's why I have set up the playlist. And this is the new playlist which we are talking about now, Python programming. So if you will observe, all the live sessions and the recorded videos will always be in this series manner. So at any point of time, if let's say someone has missed the live session, he or she can go in this playlist particular thing, and they will be able to get the access of all the recorded videos, whether it's a live one or it's a recorded paste. Both you will be able to get without any charge, right? So how much Python do we need for data science? Shivansh, whatever things I'm covering up here, that is something which is very much required for you to understand. Talking specifically to your question, you should have a good understanding from basic to advanced level, I would say, because Python is something which you will use as a data scientist quite a lot in terms of code implementations, in terms of implementing any data science project, in terms of using the libraries, and everything I'll cover up here. Okay. So now, without wasting a time, I think now we can start our today's focus and agenda, which is about the variables in Python, right? Perfect. So now, whenever we're talking about variables, what is the meaning of a variable? Anyone who can tell me? For example, if you will have a very basic idea of programming also, then also you will be able to understand that in Python, it's very easy to add two numbers. For example, if I will give you a simple example, if let's say I'll say 2 plus 3, and if I just run this particular code, you will be able to get the idea that the answer is coming out to be 5. Instead, if I'll do anything in other programming languages, this simplicity is not there. And that's the beauty of Python programming language, which other programming languages don't have. Very small, few lines of code, and we will be able to get the results, right? Now, always make sure, as I already, when I did the announcement also, I have said that whatever programming part and implementation part I will do in this Python programming, I'll try to do everything in Google Colab. In order to access this platform, there is nothing which as such required. What you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to go to the Google and just tap on Google Colab. Just click on Google Colab. Once you click on that, the very first link, if you will just open it out, the beauty about this platform is that there is no as such installation is required, and we will not waste our time in order to, do the installation stuffs. And even when you go to the industry, you are not working heavily in the local environment. You always work in the cloud environment. Maybe it is AWS, maybe it is GCP. So anyhow, you are not lagging anything. So what I thought is, without wasting any time, what we can do is we can just focus on implementation part rather than focusing on how we can do the installations and all those stuffs. So the good practice is that when you're joining the live session, you will be able to enjoy those live sessions only when you will do the implementation with me. So please try to open this file with me and try to do the implementation with respect to whatever things I am doing here. Okay. So I'm waiting for a few seconds. Meanwhile, you can just try to go and just open the Google Colab in your system. So as I told you, just open Google Colab, just click on this. The very first link, you will be able to get that. After that, Once you click on this, what you can do is you can just say new notebook, just click on this new notebook and you will be able to get the similar kind of a file which I am getting here. Now in this platform, if you will observe, there are so many things which we have. Maybe after some point of time, I will explain you each and every stuff. But today I'll just show you whatever things are required. When you open the file, there is an option to connect. So just click on the connect part. Okay? On the right side, just click on the connect part. For example, if I'll just open with you one sample file, just to show you the demonstration, what I'm trying to convey here. So what I will do here is, I'll just say open new notebook. I'll click on this. Just do it with me. Do it with me, because only by seeing the stuffs you will not able to get the understanding. Do it with me, whatever I'm doing here. Now this kind of a file you will be able to get. First thing which you're supposed to do is just rename this file. For example, today you are studying the variables part. So you can say variables in Python like this. Okay? Once you rename this file, what you can do is, on the right side of my screen, cursor, I hope everyone can see, you will be able to get this connect option. Click on this connect option. Click on this connect option and automatically what will happen, after some point of time, your file will be connected. So you will be able to see the RAM as well as the disk. Can you see that? So this is something which you have to do, and make sure that you will do this. Usually what happens that whenever we are dealing with a very huge amount of data in any data science project, we usually change the runtime type also to the GPUs, T4 GPU, TPU and all those stuffs. But because today we are doing a very basic stuff, I will not go in very advanced things and how we can change it and all those stuffs. But yes, there is a flexibility to already installed packages in this Google Colab platform. There's a flexibility to access the GPUs, and that's why this platform I really like the most. Okay? So now I'm just closing this file because I'm working on this file here. But I believe now everyone have opened this file, and when you're running the code, what you have to do, just you need to enter in your keyboard Shift plus Enter. To run the file, just need to click on Shift plus Enter, and then you will be able to get the output just like the way I'm getting. I hope you're getting my point. Is this part is clear? Until so far, all is good. Platform is ready or not. So click on Google Colab, open the file, rename the file, connect the file. After connection, you will be able to get this kind of a thing. And after that, what will happen? Just enter 2 plus 3. When you click on Shift plus Enter, you will be able to get the answer as 5. Are you guys getting the similar kind of a results which I am getting here or not? I just wanted to know if you were taking DSL live sessions as well. Yes, Vikas, for whatsoever topics I have not covered up in DSA Python playlist, I'll try to take those live sessions as well in the future. Okay. I'm just waiting for you all. Please give me the confirmation. Meanwhile, I'm taking the questions of others. Okay. Just do it very fastly and give me the confirmation so that we can move ahead. Variable means a container where we can store any value. Very good. That's something which is a correct definition. We will talk about more on top of that. What will be the timing of this class? Like 1 hour or 2 hours? It will be approximately 1 hour. We will not go until 2 hours, but yeah, it's approximately 1 hour will always be there. So shall I move ahead now? Everyone is ready with the platform? Let's move ahead now with the variables part which we were talking about. So whenever we were talking about variables, what is the meaning of a variable? Just now, Shivansh, I think the name is Shivansh, right? He has said it very correctly that you can say that it's a set of a container. Now, when I have mentioned 2 plus 3, if I want to access the value of this particular output, I can't access, right? Let's suppose I want to access any name here, any person here. Maybe I'll call Shivansh, I'll call Vikas, I'll call Atul. So everyone is having his name. Suppose someone wants to call me, he or she will say Priya, right? Then I will get to know that, okay, he or she is calling me, considering that there is no multiple Priyas are there, right? So basically, just like we human beings are called by some specific name. So if someone wants to access us, call us, they call us by our name, right? Similarly, In Python, let's say you want to access any variable, any value, what you will do, you will try to annotate a value correspond to that by using the assignment operator. So basically what you can do, you can say it's a container, it's a container where basically what we try to do, where basically we try to store any value. Container where we basically try to store any kind of a value. Now I will talk about what is the meaning of any kind of a value in a further part of a session today. But as of now, I hope you will be able to understand that what is the importance of this variable. See, it is very important to understand what is variable and then why is this required. I have given you a real-time example. Let's suppose if we don't have any name, how you guys will call me Priya? If suppose you guys will not have any name, how will I get to know that who is Karan, who is Atul, who is Shivansh, right? Now I can say that, okay, he is saying this statement, she is saying that statement, like that. Similarly, here also, let's say, if I want to access that value, what I will do now, the same thing I can do via accessing a variable. For example, if I'll say that the value of x is 2, the value of y is 3. Now what I have done is, I am saying that this x is 2, x is a variable where equal to is an assignment operator. I have assigned the value as 2. Similarly, y is a variable and equal to is an assignment operator. I have assigned the value as 3. Now what will happen when you will do this stuff? At the time of the execution, you are saying that in a RAM, see how the structure will look like. It's very important to understand. In a RAM, what will happen? You have stored a memory space and you are saying that the value of x is 3. Then you are saying that the value of y is 2. And let's assume in the next line of code, you are saying that now what I will do is, I am saying that, do one thing. Do one thing. What is that? I am saying let's do z is equals to x plus y. Now what will happen? If I just run this code, now something is there in z. Let's say I want to print that what is the value of z. I'll just click on this. And now what you're getting? The answer is 5. So now whenever I will access this z, I always get the answer as 5. That's the advantage of using variables as comparable to the above code. So now what happened is, you have created a separate variable and you told to the code that, okay, create a separate variable and in this variable, I'll try to store the sum of x plus y, and you all know 3 plus 2 is 5, and that value will be stored inside the RAM. Now, one thing which you will be amazed if you're coming from a different programming language is that in every programming language, whether it's a Java, it's a C, it's a C++, in every programming language, we used to define a variable by its data type, right? If suppose I want to store integer, I say int x. If I want to store a float number, I'll say float y. But if you will observe here, if I just check the cursor, automatically, if you will observe, my Python programming language is so smart that by getting the value, it will be automatically able to understand that what is its data type. Can you see that? I have not defined that int x. I have just said x is equals to 2. But automatically you can see with the help of this cursor that it is taking the x as int type. So let's suppose you want to check what is the type of x, what is the type of y, what is the type of z. What you can do, in Python we have a function called as type. And what you can do, you can say type of x. This function, so type function will always help us to get the data type. So if I just click on this particular function, shift plus enter, I hope you are also getting the similar results which I am getting here. What we are getting as an answer is, we are getting the answer as int type. It's an integer type. Similarly, if you want to check what is the type of the variable y, you will be able to get the answer as integer type. Similarly, if I just check what is the type of z, what you're getting the answer as integer type. Can you see, without any defining without giving any definition, we will be easily able to get that what is the type of each and every variable that we have. Is this part is clear to everyone? So it means that another important and interesting property that we have seen in Python variables is that there is a automatic data type assignment happened here, right? We don't need to assign that it's of integer type or it's of float type. Automatically, by looking into the value which we want to insert, my programming language is designed in such a way that it will be able to get that, okay, all these values are something which belongs to integer type. And to check that, what we have to do, we need to type function name is type, which will give us a data type. Inside that, whatever be the variable name for which you want to check what is its data type, you can check upon that. Is this part is clear to everyone? Very easy, right? Can you see that? It's very, very easy. That's why in the starting of the session, I told you, Python programming is really interesting, really easy. You will just get love in this after the completion of this playlist. Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes or no? Can I get some confirmation? So now, this is the very first data type which we have talked about, right? So now we are focusing on the data types that we have of variables, specifically in Python programming language. In every programming language, we have different data types. The very first thing which we have discussed now is int type, right? Let's focus on the second type that we have in Python. And that is something which we have as float type. For example, if I'll just mention, let's assume, now see a very important and interesting property of variables again. Let's say I am saying x is equals to 3.568912. Okay. And then again I am saying z is equals to x plus y. Okay. And then I'll just print the value of z. Or maybe let's do this first. And then I'll just print the value of z. Can you see what happened here? If you will observe here, initially the value of x that we have defined is 2. I have taken the same variable x and I have redefined it with the value of 3.568912. So what you have observed here, that in Python variables, there is a concept of something called as assignment and reassignment. When initially I have assigned for the very first time x as 2, that's assignment. Now, when I have used the same variable, but I have assigned some different value, which is 3.568912, I have done a reassignment of that same value. So what happened is, in the memory block, that value of x equals to 3 will get vanished, and we will be able to get 3.568912. And what happened now? It tries to do the addition of these two values, and we will be able to get the answer as this. Make sense? Is this part is clear to everyone? Yes or no? So y is 3 plus 3.568912 is getting added, and we will be able to get the value of z. This is something which we call as reassignment. So this is the concept of assigning and reassigning the values in a Python variable. Make sense? It means that you can change at any point of time the value of any variable in Python programming language. Reassignment will happen. Means updated value will be there in your variable. That's it. Simple concept. Now, if let's say I want to check what is the current type of x that we have. So if I just again click on this, you will be able to get that the type is now float. So that comes to the second interesting point that we have, that the second important data type that we have of variables in Python is float. So as you can observe, that float is a data type which contains a decimal base numbers, right? Which contains a decimal base numbers. Now let's move to the third interesting data type, which is something which I will say is a string. Let's say I'm saying name is equal to, and here I will mention Priya. Okay. And now if I just print this, what you will be able to get as a result is that a variable name is being assigned, and inside that variable, what I have assigned? Priya. So always remember, we will try to cover up string based session separately for 1 hour. But today I'll just talk about all the different kinds of data types that we have, in which string is again a very, very crucial data type in Python. Many of you are not aware. Even I was taking one interview, I think 1 or 2 days back in my company, and I told to them that in Python, how many different data types that we have, and that person said that it's integer, it's float, it's character, it's double, like that. Please. And then when I asked to him that is the string is a data type, he said no, string is not a data type. In Python, string is a separate data type which is designated by a double quotes. For example, if I will ask you what is the type of this name, if I'll just ask you, you can check this out. The type of this name is something which is str. So in future, please don't say that it's not a data type. It's a data type which is defined by double quotes. And when you will get the output, you will always get in a single quote. Always remember that. Okay? So that is the third important data type that we have in Python programming language, which we called as a string. I hope that until this part, everything is clear to everyone. Let's say I want to add Bhatia in this string. I want to add Bhatia in this string. So what I will do, I'll say name plus, let's say if I'll just say Bhatia, will I be able to get the correct response? Let's try to see what will happen. Okay. If I just want to give a space, can I see what will happen now? I will be able to get Priya Bhatia. So I can store this value inside a separate string by the name of full name, and I'll just click on this. And then what I can do is I can print this full name, and you will observe that we will be able to get the full name as Priya Bhatia. So what I have done here is actually I have applied a concatenation function. Whenever in a string you apply addition operation plus operation, what usually happens is that two strings combine together and will form a final string. Always remember that. It's not similar to the arithmetic operations, additions that we have. In a string, whenever we do the addition, it simply what it usually does, it usually tries to do the concatenation of the two strings, and you will be able to get a final string by the name of a Priya Bhatia. Is this part is clear to everyone? Third important type that we have studied today is str, string. What was the first one? Integer. Second one, float. Third one, string. Let's move to the fourth one. Let's say if I'll ask you the question, maybe if I'll ask you whether in your area rain happened today, what will you say? You will say yes, it happened. Or no, it doesn't happen. Means whenever in any of the scenario, the answer is either 0 or 1, right? In any of the scenario, whenever the answer is 0 or 1, this is something which we called as which type? Anyone can let me know? Whenever your answer is having two classes, either it will be true or it will be false. So in which particular class it belongs to? Anyone who is having any idea? Yes or no? And here also, when I'm asking the question, either you know this or you don't know this. So it's a kind of a which data type it belongs to. So Karan asked one interesting question. He said, what will be the answer of Priya plus 1, 2, 3? Anyone? Any idea? What do you think? Okay, let's try to see. He's saying, let's say name, which is designated as Priya. If I'll attach this integer type number, which is 1, 2, 3, what will happen? You're getting an error. What is the error? Can only concatenate str, not integer. So what you are doing a mistake here? You are trying to add the string plus another string. But if I just convert this number to a string like this, and if I just add this now, you will be able to get the correct answer. So can you observe this? What changes I have made? So if you want to do the addition operation, always remember the concatenation happened between two strings. So if in other string you are taking an integer type, if you will convert it into double quotes, it will be done into a string one. Then you can add and you will be able to get the correct response. Make sense? Okay. Now let's move ahead. Very good. It's a Boolean type, which is correct. So whenever our response is either true or false, that kind of category, that kind of data type belongs to a Boolean type. So for example, let's say if I'll say that the value is equals to true, always remember that the T will be capital, or whenever you're writing false, always remember F will be capital. So now if you will check it out, what is the type of this well? The response will be coming out to be bool. Bool means Boolean type. This is the fourth category, I believe, that we have discussed today. This is the fourth data type that we have, which is a Boolean type. Boolean type. Now, the last one, which many people are not aware of. Anyone which can give any guess? In Python, what is the last one which is pending, which I have not discussed? So all these are the different data types of variables that we have. We do have one very amazing, very interesting, yet many people are not aware of that data type in Python. Anyone who can give a guess? Let's see how many of you may be able to give me the correct answer. The last one is something which we have as complex data type. Very, very important to understand. You must have, worked with the complex numbers in maths. Do you remember that? Complex number is a number which is composed of two values. One is a real number, another one is a imaginary number. I'm pretty sure that everyone in their class 11th and the class 12th, I think in 10th also, we have this complex number properties. The complex number is composed of two components, real number and imaginary number. For example, if I'll give you one simple example, let's say I'll say 7 plus 2i. This is something which we called in maths as iota. I don't know how many of you remember now. I'm not going into the properties of this, but if you remember, this is an imaginary number having value of square root of -1. This is what we used to do, and we usually solve so many problems on this iota complex numbers. Here, 7 is something that we call as a real number in this complex series, right? And this 2 is something which we call as an imaginary number. Do you remember that? Now, in Python, internally, the researchers, the developers have defined this complex number as like 7 plus 2j. So this j will represent the imaginary part. Instead of I, you need to refer the j value. So what will happen here, if I just go back to the file, and if I just say the complex number is equal to, and here I am saying 7 plus 2j. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll just click on what is the type of this complex number. Let's see what you're getting the answer. It is something which belongs to a complex data type. Now here, one thing which you will observe is that whenever you are defining this variable name, or whenever I'm defining this variable name, always remember that the naming convention of these variables will always be in a descriptive form. Okay? A good developer is someone who will always make sure that in his or her code, whenever he is trying to create any project, any pipeline he's trying to make, he or she in their code will always make sure that a comment should be there, a proper comment should be there, as well as the variable naming should be in such a way that it really makes a sense. For example, here I am taking a complex number. So what I have mentioned, complex, capital N, UM. Now, if I will mention complex as a variable, it will give me the error. So always remember the data type that you have. For example, complex is a type which you can't take as a variable name. Okay? Otherwise, it will give you an error. Okay, so this is a complex number. Now, in this complex number, let's say you are looking for a real value. What is the real value? Can you see the functions that we are getting? What is the real value in this particular number? If I just click on this function, you will be able to get the answer always in a float value. So, see, many people usually ask me where we study these stuffs. Okay, you told me, you explained to me very nicely. That's completely fine. If we want to go further and want to refer anything, what should we refer? The only thing which I always recommend is documentation. In every topic, whatever we are discussing today or we will discuss in the upcoming live sessions, everything is available in the Python documentation. Go and check it out. So always remember that the values which we are returning as a complex number, whether it's a real or imaginary, will always be of float type. So here, if I'll just say complex num dot, if I'll just mention here emag, you will be able to get the imaginary number, which is in our case is 2. So you're getting the answer as 2.0. So if an interview, anyone will ask you that what is the return type of a complex number, per se real and imaginary, your answer should be, it will always return the answer as float type. Always remember that. Okay? Is this part is clear to everyone? So this is the last data type that we have in variables. So until so far, what we have discussed what is variable, we have discussed about what is variable in the very starting, we have discussed about why variables are required at the second question. Then we have discussed about what are the data types that we have in variable, where we have talked about 5 major data types: integer, float, string, boolean, as well as complex. Is this part is clear to everyone? Yes or no? I hope you are getting the point which I'm trying to convey here. Now, a very next property of variables that we have. So this is the overall discussion about the data types that we have in Python. Now, sometimes people usually ask from you, they can ask from you that, is this, for example, this is the variable name that we have, complex num. If I just call this complex num like this, can it give me the same answer? 7 plus 2j. If I just run this, what you have observed? It is not defined. What does this indicate? Always remember, Python programming language and the variables in that is case sensitive. Another very important property. This is the fourth important property that we have in terms of variables, that all the variables in Python, whichever you will define, is case sensitive. Case sensitive. What is the meaning of this word case sensitive? The simple meaning is that uppercase, upper character and lower character will be treated differently. So I have shown you the demonstration also, that when I just make n as small, it is not giving me the correct answer. If I'll just make it capital, now it will be able to give me the correct answer. Is this part is clear to everyone? Yes or no? Correct? Now, let's talk about a bit more on the Boolean data type that we have. Let's assume that I will be having a val1, which is defined as true. I will be having a val2, which I will define as false. So just now we have discussed that Boolean is a type which is either true or false. Let's say if I'll just say val1 minus val2, what do you think is the answer we will be able to get? Anyone? If anyone will ask you this question in the interview, that val1 contains a value as true, which is a Boolean type. Val2 contains a value as false, which is again a Boolean type. If we will do the subtraction of these two values, what will be the answer we will be able to get? Anyone? Any guesses? Any guesses? Anyone? What do you think? What is the answer we will be able to get? Let's see who will be able to give me the correct answer. Okay, so many people are saying error will come. Is that so? Is that so? Okay, so one student is saying 1 will come. Let's see. Let's see. Answer is 1. Always remember. Now, many people usually say that error will come, just like the way Karan said. It's not the Karan, but many people in their head must have that error will come. But error will not come. Always remember that a Boolean type true internally will be considered as 1. And false is something which is considered as 0. So whenever you are subtracting 1 minus 0, answer will always come out to be 1. So always remember that whenever you are doing a subtraction of any Boolean type, it will return to you the answer as 1 or 0. Let's assume if I will say, what is the value of val1 into val2? What do you think is the answer we will be able to get here? What do you think is the answer we will be able to get here? Anyone? Any idea? Val1 into val2. Val1 into val2. What is the answer we will be able to get? So many people are saying the answer will be 0. That's so much true, right? Val1 is 1 and val2 is 0. So if we'll do the multiplication of these two numbers, definitely the answer is 0. So in order to get the correct result, you need to make sure that the values that we're getting when you are saying 1, when we are saying 0, true means 1, false means 0 internally, then only you will be able to return the correct response, right? So this is the overall discussion that we have about the variables. One more important thing is that let's assume that you are not using this y after some point of time. Okay, you are dealing with the operations of x and z. So you can ask from me that where this y will go. Where this y will go. Automatically in Python, garbage collector is working on to fetch the values, to fetch the variables which are not of use. Okay, so for that you don't need to take care of that where the variables are going up for those variables which we are not using in the RAM. So in the RAM, after some point of time, garbage collector will come and will collect all those variables which are not of use. So all these things are the topic of today's agenda, where we have talked about in very detail with its implementation per se, that what are variables, what are the properties of variables we have, what are the different data types that we have in variables. Now, whatsoever things I have talked about today, if you have any sort of doubt, any sort of question to ask, you can ask from me. Okay? For you all, now there are few questions and the MCQs which I will share in the community post. Okay? I will share the quiz questions in the community post. Please be there in that community post also. I'll give the announcement to the WhatsApp channel as well. So please make sure that you are actively join that WhatsApp channel, and at any point of time if there is any update I am sharing with you, I'll definitely share with the WhatsApp channel, and then you can go and check it out. Okay? But with respect to the questions part, what I'm really expecting from you all is that after this session, maybe what you can do is you can try to solve few questions on this part. Let's say if I'll say that I'm giving you very easy level problems here, okay? The very first problem which I want everyone to try at their home is about Fibonacci series. Let's say if I am saying give me the value of fib of 5. So what does Fibonacci series says? I hope everyone knows that. Fibonacci series says that it's a series, it's a mathematical series where let's say you will be having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So for 0 the answer is 0, for 1 the answer is 1, for 2 the answer is the addition of previous two numbers. So it will be 1 plus 0 is 1. For 3 the answer is 2, for 4 the answer is 3, for 5 the answer is 5. So what I'm saying is that give me the answer of fib of 5, which will come out to be 5 here. This is the very first problem. So this is the very first practice problem which I am giving to you all in today's session. What I am saying is that let's say if user will enter the value of n as 5, the answer will come out to be 5 in the Fibonacci series. What is the Fibonacci series? I already have explained to you. At the value of n as 0, answer will be 0, 1 answer will be 1. For the next upcoming values, the answer will be the addition of previous two numbers. The next important question, which I want everyone to try at their home, is to check that whether values in the variables are palindromic forming or not. What is the meaning of a palindrome? Let's say you will be having values like 1, 2, 1. So if I just check it out, these values from left to right and from right to left, if you will observe, these values forms a similar pattern. That is, from left to right also we will be having a value of 1 to 1. From right to left also we will be having a values of 1 to 1. So please try to do these two problems only. For the quiz part, I'll try to share the questions on the community post. Please do mention your responses on that particular platform. And in the comment section of that community post, please do share with me why that answer you think is the correct answer. Okay? With respect to the variables only, I will share the few quiz questions on that community post, maybe by today's night or in the tomorrow morning. I'll try to share with you. Maybe tomorrow only I'll share, because maybe some students have not joined the live and they will watch the recording. So I will give them the time also. And then maybe in the tomorrow's morning, I'll share few quiz questions in my community post on my channel. Okay? Any questions now you have, please do ask. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. I hope that you find this session insightful. Please do share this announcement with each and everyone on LinkedIn. Do tag me as well. Your support really means a lot to me, because without your support, we will not able to reach to the wider audience. And I really want to help as many students as much I can. And I really want to reach to as much audience as I can. Still, many people on LinkedIn are not even aware that I have my own YouTube channel. Please do share your support, and it really means a lot to me, right? Ma'am, Java accept concatenation of string and integer. Yeah, but in Python, it's not like the case. You can add the two strings only. If you are adding the integer, it will not take place. Just like the way I have shown you, it will show you the error. I am in 10th. I have heard about HFT. Can you please explain, should I start DSA now or in college? See, you have much time. Please do focus on your class as of now. I would suggest, if you have the time, you can just spend some of your time in learning DSA. That's not an issue. Even as I remember, in my class 11th and 12th, I have taken my 5th subject as computer science, and that really helps me. So if you can do that, it's completely fine. If you can't do that, that's also completely fine. In college, you have complete span of 4 years in which you can clearly learn these concepts. So it's not like that you're lagging somewhere. So if time permits to you, you can do that. If not, please focus on your exams of major subjects like physics, chemistry, and maths, and then maybe you can once you enter the college, you will be able to focus on your coding skills part. Okay? Any other question anyone is having? So far, so good. Shall we wrap up the session now? So what I will do is, I will share the notes plus the code file, Colab file, which I have in the GitHub repository. The resources you will be able to find out in the comment, in the description of this video. Okay, just fetch the resources from there if you want, right? The live session notes as well as the code file. And let's meet you all in the upcoming session, where we will talk about further things in Python playlist. Ma'am, could you please take DSA live classes here? Definitely, we are conducting live sessions of DSA as well, and in future also we will conduct. But as I told you that in DSA using Python, whatever topics are missing, still there are few topics which are missing in this playlist of DSA using Python. For example, few topics of graphs are missing. Those topics only I will cover up. Whatever videos are there, I'll not repeat those videos content, but whatever things are still missing in this complete playlist, I will cover up those in the live sessions. And I will definitely announce that prior on my WhatsApp channel, plus in my LinkedIn community post. So if there is someone who have not joined on my WhatsApp channel or on my LinkedIn, please do join that and follow me on LinkedIn so that you will be able to get an idea. And please do share these videos as well as the things that we're covering up in this playlist also with everyone on LinkedIn so that everyone will be able to get the benefit out of this. When will be the next class? The next class will be most probably, now today is 27th and it's Wednesday. Next class will be most probably on Saturday. Saturday on the same timing, 8 p.m. So I will see you all in the next session, which is on Saturday again live, where we will have a great discussion about the string built-in functions that we have in Python. And if you have any questions in the meanwhile, let's say that you have seen this video and you got some question in between, do mention all those questions in the comment section. It might be beneficial for others as well. Apart from this, do mention the summary, what things you have learned in this session in the comment section of this video, so that it will help others as well who are there to watch from the scratch, that what things they will be able to learn. That will be really beneficial for everyone if you will just give a summary of what things we have covered up in today's live in the comment section of this video, right? So with this, let's end today's live. I hope that you find this live very insightful, very informative, and I'll see you all very soon in the upcoming live next Saturday. This Saturday only. And at 8 p.m., we will try to discuss further topics in Python programming. Bye-bye, everyone. See ya. Take care.